Welcome to the Nail Engineer, and today we're going to be doing what I call Mermicorn. It's this wonderful new pigment from Glitterarty Nails called Unicorn Magic, and it gives this gorgeous kind of mermaid iridescent effect, which my camera is having a real hard time focusing on. Here are a selection of different effects that you can get with the Unicorn Magic. This is overweight, which is what I'm wearing, over a peachy pale pink, which is also what I'm wearing, which is the Gel Bottle 073, and I'll just show you the colour. Over a light lilac, that's Madam Glam light lilac, and this one is directly chromed onto Madam Glam all-in-one baby girl, which is applied in a thin layer over a white base just to kind of keep it light, because this one's quite sheer. Also, you might recognise this nail. This is a pink variation on my OPAL nail. You might have seen the tutorial for that. And we've also got 073 on this middle finger here, which has got a unicorn flake on it. And these are these iridescent flakes that I've got here. Now on this hand, I've actually used this Mermaid in the Making. So on this hand, I would like to try one of the other flakes. I've also got this one, which is called Pixie Watch, but when you put it over pale colours, which I am doing in this mani, too many of the kind of like yellow and purple tones come out, and that's kind of probably going to clash a bit. So I think I'll have a go of Flying Fairies on this hand. Now for my opal nail, I'm going to be using exactly the same technique as in my opal tutorial video, so I'll be kind of whizzing through that. As you'll know from that video, all I do is I pop on a base and don't cure it, sprinkle this on, and then encapsulate, and this is Arctic Wolf, also by Glitterarty. And the final thing that we've got on my thumbs here are these mermaid scales, which are the Aurora Platinum Mermaid Scales by Glitterarty, and I'm just going to be scattering them in a bit of a kind of peekaboo design after I've chromed.
And I was like, that's cool.
So I'm all cleaned off now. You'll be able to see what would happen if I now top coated this, and all that shine would come back, and with it would come all of like the pink and purple highlights that I really don't want in my opal. I want it to kind of be more true to an opal and have more kind of like red, green, yellow highlights. So what we're going to be doing is exactly the same thing as we did with the white one, except you can see the colour difference there. There's a lot more kind of pink to it to coordinate with the rest of the mani. Last time it was 1 part yellow, 2 parts baby girl, and 4 parts perfect white. This Milky Magic is actually made of 2 of the same colours as the original white opal, Madam Glam Pale Yellow 1 step and Madam Glam Perfect White, but this time I'm getting a pink tone from Gel Bottle 073, which I used as my base, and we've got equal parts now, 3 parts each of these two, still 1 part yellow, and still half the quantity again of the Nailing super runny base and top, just to kind of slacken it off. So we've got that mixed up there, and you can see it's this kind of like slightly kind of peachy colour, and that's just to kind of dull down the purple lights, and we're just putting a nice thin coat on here, taking care not to get streaks and trying not to end up with like kind of more product at the cuticle. If you notice there that you're like kind of forming a line, don't worry, you can rescue it by just kind of dabbing off the excess from your brush. Then it's almost like mopping it up, just like that. And I think that one coat for this one will probably be enough. So after curing, I just basically top coated, and this is what we're left with. And you can see that it's just a really nice kind of soft peachy pink tone compared to the white one. The white one's very nice, but I just want to try like a range of colours. And if you're on Instagram, follow me at The Nail Engineer. I'm sure you'll be seeing a whole heap of different coloured opals in the future. Now let's get on with the other nails. And as if by magic, my other fingers that are going to get chromed with Unicorn Magic have been painted. I've got 3 coats on each of these nails of Madam Glam Perfect White, and then I've got my no wipe top coat. You can use your usual no wipe top coat, just be aware that some of them need to be part cured in order for it to work. Madam Glam thin no wipe, the one in the 10ml bottle, is fine for the full 30 seconds. The Madam Glam standard 15ml size needs to be undercured at 15. Gel bottle super shine top coat needs to be undercured at 20 seconds, which is 1/3 of the curing time. The Madam Glam is a half. And I've chosen to use O Star because I've found that this is a really good base to get like a longer lasting effect. Little Nobby is here. Little shout out to my nailer girls. You know who you are, and you know why I got my Nobby out. So let us proceed with the chroming. Now you can use any method that you prefer. I personally have found best results with either a silicone chisel tool like I'm using here, and I'm just using a very small amount and really scrubbing it into the nail there. And don't be worried if to the naked eye the surface of the nail looks a little bit kind of like, I wouldn't say patchy, but certainly a bit granular in appearance, because that is perfectly normal. You can't probably see it because it's so shiny, but to the naked eye this pigment has a mixed particle size, and some of them are like more kind of flaky than your normal chrome, so you will get a little bit of a mishmash. The only thing that you always must do is really kind of scrub it in nicely and then dust off any excess. Another method that I like to use, and we'll show you this on my thumb so you can see how it looks over pink, is just to use your finger in a nitrile glove. Some people use just their finger, their bare finger, and have okay results with it, but I prefer to keep any skin oils off of the surface of the nail. And you can see there that this is a really good method, especially like kind of when you get into the end of the mani and you want minimal waste, just to pick up all of those little bits that are in your little tray there and just get them pressed into the nail. Now if you have a look at the surface, it's pretty much exactly the same as the other nail. There's no kind of loss of quality of the shine there. These are going to get triple top coated, by the way. I'm not using a builder this time to prolong the life of the pigment. I'm really going to go hard on this and just use 3 top coats. I'm going to be using my Madam Glam no wipe, but I'm only going to part cure it because it's a no wipe, and that's to stop any frosting. Then using a normal tacky top coat so that the next layer's got something to grab onto, and then going back in with your hardest wearing top coat. And I'll be using Madam Glam 15ml no wipe. I have tried using primer, which can remove just a tiny little bit around the edge. I've tried using base coat. Base coat goes on all right, but it's just not quite as super shiny as what you get if you use like a no wipe. Similarly with like a tacky top coat. Now my thumb here is a slightly different kettle of fish to the other fingers which are being left plain, because this is going to have some of these gorgeous mermaid flakes on it, as you can see here, just like in a peekaboo on the side. And what I'm going to do, just like in my Game of Thrones Mani video, I'm going to be hand placing these on the nail, and just to kind of look like mermaid scales. Now I'll not bore you with the details, I'm sure that you know how to do this. All I will say is that I'm trying to kind of, instead of interlocking the hex pieces this time, what I'm trying to do is kind of fit them in a hex pattern, like if you were tiling a floor or whatever, just like a kind of like honeycomb pattern. And you can see there I've got like a bit of a flower going on, and then here I'm going to have a bit of a flower when I've kind of straightened them out. I'm just going to place those just like on the other nail. So my thumb is all safely snuggled under a blanket of rubber top coat, and as if by magic painted my sweary finger with Gel Bottle 073, just one thin kind of careful coat. Any kind of unevenness, don't worry about. I've got very thin layer of builder on here, and you might be able to see through in patches, but once this is on the nail it won't make any difference. So I like to use either a little bit of makeup sponge, I find it controls the application a bit better than maybe using a brush, and this one that I'm using is Flying Fairies, just because I want to compare and contrast with the flake that I've got on my other hand, which is Mermaid in the Making. Oopsie, got a little bit too much there. Can you have too much bling? Possibly. So right away I can see that this one is reflecting much more kind of like pink and purple colours, with a little bit less red. I am liking the effect of that, and basically you can put on as much or as little as you like. Again, with this little wedge, it's really useful if you just want to do like a little stripe across the nail or whatnot. But anyway, I'm just gonna make sure that I've got even coverage that I'm after, and then I'm gonna double top coat this, and with this one you don't need to worry about what top coat you put on top of it. You can just put tacky top coat on. So yeah, I'm going to do that off screen, and then we'll come back for the final look. So that's this hand all done up, and just to compare the two flakes together, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but certainly in person, this one here, which is Flying Fairies, it's much more kind of like warm toned than this one. It's got a bit more kind of like red and gold to it, and certainly a bit more kind of purple. And I think for this mani that I actually prefer Flying Fairies to Mermaid in the Making, just with this like combination of colours. I'll get some daylight shots and include them in the end, and yeah, but overall I'm pretty pleased with this mani. I'm only sorry that I've already used the video title "My Fingers Have Kidnapped Your Unicorns," because wow, just look at these, aren't they amazing? I think I'll call this a Mermicorn, because obviously we've got unicorns and we've got mermaid scales there. Yeah, Mermicorn mani it is. So I hope you enjoyed this and found it useful. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Listen.